Hi everyone, Guten Morgen. My name is Atika, the Managing Director of Beyond Events Asia. It is my pleasure today to meet everyone here virtually, and I'm excited to present the destination South Korea. So this webinar will consist of about 45 minutes presentation, and then there'll be a Q&A at the end. Let's go. So who are we? Beyond Events Asia. It is a boutique agency, proudly owner managed, and we take pride in our dynamic and well-traveled team. Our team is dedicated and experienced, specializing creating unique experience conferences and incentives across Asia. We operate physically, virtually, and hybrid as well. Next. So our philosophy is simple. Events should not only inspire and motivate, but also foster long-term relationships and drive key business outcomes. Our team collaborates closely with you to design the experience from the start and execute it with you throughout the event to leave a lasting impression on your guests by creating not just a successful event, but creating unforgettable memories. So I have over 12 years of experience of being in the MICE industry, specializing in corporate clients from Europe mainly into Asia. We have done about 789 projects across 10 unique destinations. We are not just event planners, we are also destination experts. We tailor-made proposals and we are a very customer-focused approach. So we take the pride in our ability to deliver holistic solutions to ensure your event success and enhance your relationship with attendees and clients. So we do a bit of end-to-end from transfers to show production, to offering show callers, to booking hotels, recommend unique venues, recommend unique experiences as well. In a nutshell, we have track records with European clients, so we understand, your needs. You don't have to explain to us everything. Wine has to be chilled, napkins have to be there. Yeah, so these are the things that we pride ourselves in because we are so used to creating events like this in Asia. So yeah, and also the local expertise that gives. So with these two, I think we can give you like not just international standards, but also a very authentic experience in our destinations. Our values. So let's dive into what truly defines us, our values. At the heart of operations is providing fresh perspective. We aim to inspire your curiosity with our beautiful Asian destinations. We want you to see things from a new angle, to experience them through the eye of the local, and sparking conversations and understanding about our shared global heritage. Obviously, we are trusted experts in the destinations itself, so you can ask us anything, and like we will let you know, because in Asia, politically it changes quickly sometimes. So we are your source of like not fake news, real news. If you need our comments on certain destinations, and sustainability is a core part of our values. We see events as an integral part of local economy and environment. Since we have so many destinations, we carefully select vendors and with responsible practices, respecting the social and environmental impact of our work. It is our responsibility to safeguard the unique experience and wonders that each destination has to offer. So in order to have in our industry to have this beautiful nature all across Asia, we also have to safeguard it for our future generations. Yep. innovation, not just about tech. It could also be about being creative in the program by making sure the trends and the destination, if it's unique, we love to entertain those thoughts and programs and experiences and try it out and see whether it's okay to do it with corporate clients. That also includes genuine experiences, so we try our best to make it different, like meet personalities, not just do the touristic stuff, but also go through small alleys, let the client see like the daily lives of wherever they are. So that's something we like to impart in our program. Teamwork is also it's more about in Asia, like teamwork is super crucial. So our team and network across the years are our backbone to our success. They're just partners or clients. They are more than just that. This is our team in Singapore. We do have an office in South Korea as well. And wherever it is that you decide, we will always be your designated point of contact. So these are our trusted country operation managers who have worked with us 10 to 14 years. So they serve as our reliable team on the ground, just to ensure seamless local execution. But from your perspective as a client, you will always have a single point of contact, which is us and any of the team members that you see on the right. We will personally oversee all aspects of the event, including site inspection, weekly calls, and on-site execution. Means we are with you from the start all the way to the event completion. We don't just design the program, but we stay close because we want to make sure that the program is brought to life exactly as we envision with you. So that level of continuity and commitment is something we will not compromise on. That's about us. That's 10 minutes. Great. Next, we go deep into South Korea. Sebastian, have you been to South Korea?
Unfortunately, not yet.
Nope. Anyone here has been?
No.
No one. Okay. Okay, let's go. Let's go. All right. So then in that case, so South Korea is where like tradition meets innovation. I know you've heard about this beautiful country, from social media, from Netflix. But yeah, so you will understand a bit like that it's not just culturally rich, it's also a smart nation. It's a world-class infrastructure, high-speed internet that ranks among the fastest globally. They also have other smart cities around South Korea, not just Seoul, which is the capital. We have Busan and Incheon. So Incheon is where the airport is. Busan is where the coastline is 2 hours away from in Seoul. So there is about 51 million people in terms of population as of today. And do you want to guess what's the biggest religion in Korea? Anyone?
Wow, that's a difficult one, huh?
Christians.
Well, could be though.
Could be. It's funny because
we see one Buddha here, so probably it's Buddhism because it looks like a Buddha.
Yeah, it's there to trick you. Yeah. So the correct answer is 60% of the population has zero religion.
Oh.
And then the next one will be 28% Christianity, and then 19% Protestant, Buddhism at 15%. Then the less than 1% will be like Buddhism, Islam, Confucianism. So 60% majority of, as in majority of South Koreans has no religion. That's why if you walk on the streets, there will be so many people, like especially around universities. There'll be people like preaching, would you like to join us in the church? Would you like to join us? So it's a very interesting thing to see on the streets outside universities because they're trying to recruit more people into their religion. So that's something I feel like it's a interesting fact. And the best time to travel would be April to early June, where it's spring, and in autumn, September to November. Some of things to highlight, the cherry blossoms is in early April. So it is nice to go during that period because you will see the trees with pink flowers, cherry blossom season. That's something you should not miss if you want to do like a really cool experience. So the timing should be around April for the cherry blossom. There is a thing called Golden Week. So Golden Week is in early May. Golden Week is where the whole of China goes on a 2 weeks of holiday. That means everywhere in Asia is going, everywhere around China, including China and South Korea, will be full with a lot of tourists. So early May is something we should avoid because of the Golden Week. So the recommendation will be late April for sure. Why Korea? So strategically, it is located in the northeast of Asia. So Korea is a powerhouse for country of innovation, creativity, and resilience as well, making it reliable for my destination. As of July, as of this month, there are around 40 direct flights connecting Europe and South Korea, operated by 11 different airlines. Oh. So here are the different flights. Excuse me. So we have airports from Frankfurt, Munich, with Swiss and Korean Air. So Korean Air is part of the Sky Team, and Swiss is part of the Star Alliance. So there are two options of the bigger alliance in case the client has a preference for alliance. It's around 10 to 11 hours, so it's doable. It's not too far. And the next reason is because I know you know K beauty and K-pop are now globally very well known. But maybe some may know, some may not know that Korea also leads the industry in AI, semiconductors, and green energy. So South Korea is the birthplace of global big giants like Samsung, LG, and Hyundai. So Hyundai, for example, began as a small construction firm in the post-war Korea. So that's like 1960. 1960s when like the Korean War was 1950 to 1953. But right after the post-war, there's a lot of evolving in industries from South Korea. So from 1960, it became like one of the world's leading car and mobility companies. That's what, 1960, 40. So that's 60, no, that's 60 years ago. It's not that long. Yeah, so from the 1960s to 1980 was the big rapid industrialization and economic boom in South Korea. And then from 1980s to 1990s is the democratization and modernization. And then South Korea became like globally well known on the map since 2000s until now. I will tell a very interesting story about Chung Ju-yeon. Anyone know who he is? He's not very famous, but yeah, his company is very famous. So this is the story about the boy who stole a cow and then built an empire. It's a real story. So it actually is a very big symbol of South Korea ambition and grit, including like a post-war transformation. This is the epitome of to understand South Korea post-war transformation. So this guy, Chung Joo-young, he was born in 1915 in a poor farming village. Now it's North Korea. So just imagine he come from North Korea. I mean, his family was poor and expect him to also become a rice farmer, just like his father. But this guy had a dream to escape poverty and build something of his own. So at the age of 18, he stole one cow from his father's farm, which is, back then it's very valuable, a cow, and then he used that money to escape to South Korea. He felt several times actually to leave because he got caught by the police or his father, but he continued doing it until he made it to Seoul, where he finds like odd jobs. He learned carpentry. He opened a small car repair shop. So that shop now evolved to what we know as Hyundai, one of the largest industrial conglomerates in the world, valued at $120 to $140 billion now. So what do we learn? We steal cows. No. But during the Korean War, in the 1960s, so that's after he became rich, he actually supplied the trucks and construction to the military. And after the war, he helped to rebuild the country by building highways, ports, power plants, and eventually launched Hyundai Motors. At 1998, when he was 33, before he passed, he returned to North Korea during like a very rare moment of inter-Korean cooperation. So as a gesture of peace and reconciliation, he brought with him 1,001 cows across the demilitarized zone. So he stole one cow over and he brought 1,001 cow. So anyway, why does it matter? It's actually a powerful origin story of Korean resilience and ambition. So yeah, Hyundai now symbolizes innovation from automotive to robotics and future mobility. Their innovation centers are now event venues and tech showpieces for corporate groups. And today, Hyundai is pioneering hydrogen fuel technology and investing heavily in smart mobility and robotics. Then the other reason why South Korea is because it's such a unique society. As I mentioned, it was not like post-war was 60 years ago. So all these happened within the 60 years is quite interesting, quite crazy. For example, the beauty standards. It is a social capital. Physical appearance is very closely tied to social and professional success. So cosmetic surgeries, like for example, if you see the before and after of the lady on the top left, this is called like double eyelid surgery. So I don't have a double eyelid, but every young Koreans at the age of 14 to 16, it is normalized that their parents bring them to a plastic surgeon to do double eyelid. So these are not just normalized, they are encouraged, and so it is like a normal rite of passage for many young adults before they enter university or the job market. So it's not uncommon to see like your CVs, your resume for work to include like a headshot, because and aesthetic clinics often advertise job interview package to prep them for phase 4 employment, like pale skin, small V-line jaw, and high nose bridge is and if you have that on top of double eyelid, that will give you higher chances. So this entire economy around lookism, discrimination based on looks, have a real impact on hiring. So This doesn't mean every company enforce beauty expectations, but the pressure is widespread, especially in competitive industry like finance, hospitality, and media. So then another unique thing about Korea, which you can also see in Japan, is the workplace drinking culture. So it's more of a corporate bonding that happens after work over food and heavy drinking sessions called hoshik. It's seen as a way to build loyalty, hierarchy, and team chemistry. Employees always feel like they have to attend because, and even if they don't want to drink, um, refusing that can be seen as socially awkward, and they might be, isolated at work. So they feel the need, they feel pressured to join. So yeah, fun fact, Korea is one of the top alcohol consuming countries per capita, which is largely driven by soju, which is the rice wine, and beer culture. So with all this, you can have an idea what the mental health of the society is. It's a lot of stigma and silent struggles. So this is what we like to put into our programs, even if you're on the bus from one destination to another destination. We make sure like our guides mention things like this, which is unique and not just just for taking photos. So yeah, but now the emerging trend is that younger Koreans are turning to meditation, self-help apps, and digital therapy services. So yeah, not all is lost. And in terms of hierarchy and harmony, age and rank matters a lot in this country. So if you pour a drink to your boss, this is his cup, this is my cup, I can't go above his cup. So for example, this is my boss's cup, this is my cup, I have to go low. I can't go above him. So all the things matter in terms of like hierarchy. Like you can't eat first until the oldest on the table starts eating. What else? There's a lot of these kind of things that we like to explain to our clients. For example, like for dinner, they don't always have to do like luxury dinner. Sometimes it's a simple chicken and beer culture introduction, and we talk about this like, or like the work culture is like this, and most of the time, everyone around us are actually having a work gathering, and they can see it for themselves at the restaurant because it's very, very obvious, and it happens every time. So yeah, so that's South Korea in terms of the unique society. Okay, so we go through programs and what's possible to do. Just bear in mind that it's not just Seoul. For this itinerary, I will share another itinerary as well. There is a mix of Seoul, Gangneung. Gangneung is like 2 hours away with a speed train to the coast, and back to Seoul for leisure and luxury, followed by checkout and departure. From Incheon Airport to the center of Seoul, it takes around 1 hour, 1.5 hours by bus. There are a lot of different type of accommodation options. In Korea, the Accor group is quite strong because they have the newest hotels in the like swankiest area. So that's something to note. For example, the Naru M Gallery is something you should watch out for. Novotel Ambassador, I think 3 or 4 years old. And this building is actually in Yeouido, where it's the financial district and one of the richest area in Korea. You also have the Signal Tower, which is the tallest tower in South Korea. if you want something very, bling bling. There's also accommodation options that is more traditional. You don't have a butler or anything like that. But it is an experience, and generally it's very clean in Korea. Like they make like you won't have a piece of tissue, like if there's a dust they will clean it. So cleanliness is something that you don't have to worry in Korea. For food, you can go from luxury traditional to what I mentioned, to like chicken beer experience or Korean barbecue experience, depending how the program you want to curate the program. There's also Michelin options. There are 7 restaurants in Seoul alone that has 2 Michelin stars. You have the skyscraper option because we're still in the urban city. If you want to do a farewell overlooking the Han River. When you go on your walking tour, there's a lot of options for traditional tea house that we can let them immerse themselves. So spa treatment. Not really the spa that you think of in Europe. It's more about skincare. So Koreans are really advanced in skincare. Ask anyone. Every time someone goes to Korea, we buy like big packets of facial masks or skincare. We had like a group with the spouse activity, and with the spouse activity mainly female, we organized like experience in it's called Sowasu. Sowasu is one of the top skincare luxury end in Korea. They go through like an experience, and then we end up in a facial spa setting, and then they drink matcha tea afterwards. So that's the type of flow that we can do for the spouse program. These are just Seoul highlight tour, just to give you an idea what you can do. Usually, it's nice to put it into a half-day program, just so that they still see the touristic stuff, but it's something you have to do. So if you don't offer, they will ask why. The palace. So there's like a lot of rental of hanbok, which is the traditional clothing that you can opt. It's right next to the palace. So what we do is we walk past the rental clothes. It's like 3 stories of rental clothes. So we will ask like anyone wants, especially when they bring their spouse. Sometimes their spouse wants to do it. Okay, get changed, and they actually have like someone to tie your hair, put like the hair accessories for you, and then we go to the temple. So it's very easily done. It's just across the road. Then what else? The blue house. For some clients it's interesting, for some it's not. I think 1 out of 10 clients that I bring like to see the blue house. So it really depends. This is an area where there's a lot of traditional houses. I'm just gonna skip because I want to go through another program more in details. In Sadong is antique art street, so you know what there are to do. Cheonggyecheon stream is very popular if you watch a lot of Korean dramas. Every time a couple fights or makeup is always here. This is the day trip to Gangnam, which is 2 hours. You see the beach. It's for corporate client, it really depends what they want, but there are a lot of clients who have come to Korea so many times. So sometimes they're like, oh, okay, let's go here. So we bring them there. Then there's a lot of really cool pavilions. So the guide will actually talk about the history of Gangnam to the clients. And then it's also one of there is a coffee street with, so coffee culture in Korea is very, very popular. And just on this street, a lot of, they have 30 really cool cafes that are popular. And that's why I think a lot of young people come all the way to Gangneung, sometimes for a weekend trip, to enjoy the beach as well as the coffee. There's also a sculpture park and a maritime museum. And because it's on the outskirts, not indoors, inside the city, there's more space to do kimchi food experience from a family with generations and generations of doing kimchi. Not just kimchi, but also soy sauce. So there are different types of culinary traditional experience in that area, because it's really hard to find something like that in the city of Seoul. So more authentic. Other things, usually the last day, a lot of leisure and shopping. Yeah, Lotte World Theme Park is quite popular. I brought a client there, and one of the wife mentioned that she wants to really, really go for the Lotte World Theme Park. It was not easy to book because it's quite popular among tourists. Then you, of course, you have your Seoul Sky. Not, yeah, Seoul Sky is the highest building that I showed you before. It has an observatory. And shopping. So sample program 2, based on 26 people from Zurich with a spouse, so 13 couples. The age is from 30 to 70 years old, from Switzerland, French, and German speaking. So day 1 is all about travel because they're coming from different parts of Switzerland. And then the day 2 is more for orientation of Korea. Explore Ikseongdong, which is one of the traditional street. And then day 3, they wanted to put as culture and tradition, which are the things I showed you a bit more. But I'll show you what can be done outside of the touristic items. Day 4, because they're an automobile company, they had to do a factory visit and a showroom tour, because the company is a Korean company. Day 5, mindfulness and nature with meditation and temple cuisine experience, followed by departure. Yeah, so easy arrival. Arrive. There's a French and German speaking guide on standby. In their coach, we give them Wi-Fi X. It's like a portable Wi-Fi on the coach. We give it to the couple so that they have it all the time. And these clients mentioned that they've been on a long flight, they want to be active. So first thing they did before going to the hotel is climb up the Namsan Tower, which is the iconic Namsan here. You can see with the cable car. So they have like a bird's eye view of Korea, and then they go down with the cable car. Next, they go to Ikseongdong. It is for a relaxed lunch. So their lunch was actually served on the bus itself from the hotel. So really nice bento box because it's 1.5 hours by bus. So we offered lunch on the bus option. And then they went for a walk, and now another walk through Ikseongdong. It's a popular neighborhood with a lot of shops and cafes with renovated traditional Korean houses. So we introduced them to, the food and ice americano. Ice americano is so popular among Koreans. Number 1 is because it's a low calorie. It's like low calorie, no fat. Number 2, it's very quick to order, very easy to carry. It gets the job done. Caffeine hit, no fuss. And number 3 is because the coffee culture is quite big there in Korea, and aesthetics as well. So massive cafe culture. So ice americano is cool, portable, and stylish, basically. So if a worker or an office worker walk around holding a tall cup of black coffee to work, it's like a status symbol among office worker and trendsetters. So when they order it, they call it AA because it's like a short form of ice americano. So when you order, you just say AA, AA 주세요. 주세요 means please. And then, yep, you will fit right in and become cool. What else? Oh, then finally they check in to the hotel with welcome drinks. We prepared wine, champagne, juice with the key cards all on standby. So they can take and go, or they can stay and have a drink and watch the view. So this is the Naru hotel that I told you about. It's really well positioned, overseeing the Han River, and we make sure that all their rooms are guaranteed river view. Because I feel it's so nice to arrive first day to see South Korea like this. Day 2, morning walk. So they like walking a lot. Seoul 7017 is what this long sky garden. It's 1 kilometer long. It's an elevated park near Seoul Station. So there's 24,000 plants connecting 17 pedestrian paths across the city. So it's just a nice morning walk with the guide explaining, and then you see the Seoul Station, explain Seoul Station. They can enjoy just a chill stroll. It's perfect for a light sightseeing between meetings. It also connects to like Namdaemun Market and Myeongdong, which is the shopping area. So instead of going on a bus, this could be another option, an alternative of walking in an elevator. It takes like 20-30 minutes walking tour. Chill, relax, and a lot of photo opportunities, and also seeing the city from that angle. Then we continue walking until we arrive. It's called Tongin Market. A lot of people will go to Gwangjang Market because it's on Netflix and blah blah blah. But I prefer Tongin Market for a corporate group because it's clean. It's not too big. It's easy to find everyone together, and at the same time they serve the same food that Gwangjang Market serve. So, and the good thing about this market is that we give them like a coin. We call it Yokjon coin, which was used a long time ago in the 17th century during the Japanese colonial period. And every coin is worth 500 won, which is $5. So we buy like 10 in the bunch, and we give to one so that they can build their own lunchbox. Of course, there will be the guide, the German and French speaking guides going around every stall and say what this food is, etc. before they put into their box. So it's an interactive culinary but also cultural experience, which is fun. So this takes like maybe 30 minutes, but obviously this is not enough for lunch. This is more like bites, and a bit of culture. For lunch, I brought them to the very famous, the most famous restaurant for samgyetang, which is the chicken ginseng soup. There's always long queue, but yeah, we managed somehow to cut the queue and make sure the tables are ready for our group. Like we brought in 5 people 1 hour before the group arrived to negotiate with the restaurant to get our tables. So that's the only way to do it. You can't reserve in advance. They don't accept any leisure booking or MICE bookings. You have to queue. What is this soup? It's one whole young chicken stuffed with glutinous rice, ginseng. I don't know if you know ginseng. Anyone knows what ginseng is? Okay, yeah, it's good for your health. And it's very expensive. So they put ginseng soup with then slowly cooked, and we have like this. If you see here on the bottom right, like a guten appetit, bon appetit like menu, we actually create how to eat this dish, because you need to put, you take out the chicken, you need to put in the pepper and the salt, and then you put in the sauce as well. So there is like a way to do it that we can put in this manner. You usually have all these cards at every restaurant to explain. It's not just nourishing and comforting, it's actually a superfood in Korea. If you get sick, you eat this, but you can't eat this every day because it's very heaty. So yeah, that's an experience of that is not super expensive. Yeah. Palace tour, have to do it. Touristic, but have to do it because there's also the change of guard ceremony. It is located near the Blue House, if you can see on the hills. And it's an iconic palace of Korea. So it is there's a indoor museum inside where you can learn about the history, and then you can also walk around the compound. And at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. there will be a change of guard ceremony that we can watch for. It lasts for like 20 minutes. So yeah, this is the palace. This is the antique street that I was talking about. Known for traditional tea house, calligraphy, art galleries, street performance. What we can do there with a group is calligraphy, workshop. There's also fan workshop. Anything that has to do with the art and tradition of Korea, we can do it there. Maximum 20 people because it's not a big space, so comfortably 20 people. Then a temple visit. This is the temple in the heart of Seoul, just next to the street that I just showed you, 5 minutes walk. So I think it's a nice flow. This is built in the 14th century. This tree that you see on the left is actually believed to be 500 years old. And in here, the guide will talk about the architecture, the lanterns, they also do meditation, like temple stay programs. But what we did was we have a quick look, and easy. We go up to the second floor and do calligraphy meditation with a monk. So it's already paper that has been like printed with faint ink, and everyone received like a modern calligraphy pen and just draw repeatedly, because it's also like meditation. So yeah, that's an experience for maybe 2.5 hours. And then opposite, we have a vegan temple lunch dinner, which is Michelin star. We also have like a booklet to let them know, what it means. We use all parts of the lotus root, lotus flower, lotus leaf, because they don't like to waste. It also highlights mindfulness, gratitude, thoughtful experience, gourmet wellness, but bear in mind it's vegan. So there are a lot of meat eaters that were not happy with the selection of food, but it's a vegan temple lunch. Next, for the last day, recommend Seoul Sky Observatory and farewell dinner either with a skyscraper or floating island. The floating island is a unique venue. If it's 350 people with a brand launch, they like to do it there because there's a lot of fireworks, that you can do fireworks there. and it's a beautiful venue. Yeah, that's it from my side for this presentation. After this, I can send you the Korea Tourism My Support Program by email. Any questions?
Thank you very much, Atika. Are you still going to show us something, or until before we start with the questions, or do you want to keep it at the end? Because I believe you have a wonderful video to share.
Oh yeah, thanks for the reminder. Let me show you something a bit more upbeat that will lift up your mood. Obviously, Korea is very well known for K-pop, so obviously this can be integrated into the program. Here you go.
봄이 내려온다. 장님 깊은 골로 대한 짐승이 내려온다. 몸은 얼숭얼숭 우리는 잔뜩 핫팔이 넘고 해머리 흔들며 전동 같은 앞다리 봉화 같은 뒷발로 양기 찌우고 새낙 같은 발톱으로 잔디뿌리 왕모래를 촤르르르르 그치며 주홍잎떡 버리고 허리랑 하는 소리 하나니 묻어지고 땅이 툭 꺼진 한 듯 차례 정신없이 먹으로 움츠리고 가만히 엎젖었다. 봄 내려온다 봄이 내려온다 송이 깊은 골로 한지생이 내려온다. 그의 머리를 흔들며 향기 쭉 찢어지고 몸은 얼숭얼숭 뿌리는 잔뜩 봄 내려온다 봄이 내려온다 송이 깊은 골로 한지생이 내려온다. 그의 머리를 흔들며 향기 쭉 찢어지고 몸은 얼숭얼숭 뿌리는 잔뜩 봄 내려온다 봄이 내려온다 봄 내려온다 봄이 내려온다.
Well, interesting style, interesting music. Thank you very much, Atika, for this very interesting presentation about Korea, South Korea, which is very new to us. So it gave us really interesting insight, and I think a few important points, pieces of information of how you can include some of those very typical things into a program. Some might not be possible. I don't think that any of the participants might want to go for an eye lifting. Maybe we will have a group for that, but it's good to know all the options which are there. Yeah, any questions? Please go ahead.
Thank you, Atika. I have a question. What is the minimum stay you would suggest for
5
South
days,
Korea?
4 nights for sure.
Okay.
And it also depends if you want to see just Seoul or other cities. If you want to have a combination, I think like 6 days minimum would be really nice.
Okay.
You mentioned that the beach is only like a short drive. You mean you do it for a day visit? Was that correct?
Yeah, so the one that I showed, Gangnam, is a day visit, so 2 hours one way. But there's also a beautiful, beautiful island, Jeju Island, which is only let me check. It is just 2 hours by flight. And it's like completely different. Like you have all the green tea farms, like beautiful waterfalls. So that could be a really great contrast. But if not, Busan, which is 2.5 hours by train, is also a big contrast. It's not an island, but it's still by the beach. So these two could also be an option.
Mm-hmm. Okay. But you would say that Seoul is probably the most interesting part, obviously the most accessible, and which has the most diversity as in the modern components and cultural to include. Or do you have nearby countryside which you say would be nice to combine to stay in a countryside hotel? Is there something like that?
There is a countryside. It's an ancient capital of Korea, which is called Gyeongju. So Gyeongju, imagine you enter and there's no high building, high size skyscrapers. So that's actually super nice to see. It's also near the seaside. You can come and you can have seafood and taste the cuisine from that region. Because when you live when you go to a seaside city, the cuisine is slightly different. So that is also nice to experience.
Mhm. I think since we don't know much about Korea, how are the rates? What are the prices like compared to other Asian destinations? What are we talking about as in room rates, for example, in a good 4-star, 5-star hotel in one of your main seasons, obviously avoiding the Chinese New Year and all that?
I would say it's depending on the peak season, it could be as high as Singapore. But if you go on a low season, it could be slightly lower. So we're looking at on a 4-star, $250, 5-star, $320, $350. It could go like buffer $50 more, $100 more, depending on the peak season. So that's what we're looking at.
Great. I have one last question because I think
Sure.
maybe no one else has a question. Is obviously because Korea stands for a lot of the technology and developments, which are, I think, one of the key factors for companies probably going to South Korea for an incentive or conference. How easy is it to have encounters with this company, having meetings with startups and getting behind the scenes? Is that something which can be done?
It's actually most of the requirements compared to those that have already have a company there and already has like a program for them. But there are a lot of, like you mentioned, startups that wants to find like innovate. So there's a lot of them in Busan for that part. So it really depends which industry, but there are a lot of these Korean organizations that would be keen if you approach them in the right way.
Okay.
So it is possible. I wouldn't say it's impossible.
Good to know. Perfect.